Hi there, today we're going to talk data center move. A little more complicated than that. As you can imagine, a well thought out plan is critical because if it's not, it could be lights out. There's nothing like the smell of a brand new mainframe in a brand new data center. For the agenda, we'll hit the basics today: the who, what, where, when, why, and how of data center, and to get that new data center smell. When considering the who aspect of your data center move, you want to make sure you have the dream team. Aside from your vendors of choice aligned, you also want to make sure you're aligned internally. Does this initiative have the priority to be successful? After all, you're going to need a whole range of folks to help you with this: architecture, security engineering, key management, network, facilities, application owners from each LOB, and senior management, to name a few. They will even consider having some of them sign an NDA as required. When it comes to the what, you want your scope nailed down as clearly and precisely as possible. Perhaps you need to re-platform some middleware such as Oracle. You may also consider other additional hardware upgrades that may be required. This may include a CPU refresh of an associated site. Security is usually at the top of the list. Perhaps you want to readdress to private IPs. You may also consider doing some application rationalization in the process, either before, during, or after, whatever makes sense. You might have some leases or licenses that are expiring that may impact your decision. Perhaps you want to put some applications to the cloud, VM, or sunset them altogether for some cost savings on unused applications. Overall, you want to minimize the variables that you introduce in your move. Keep your scope manageable. Use phases as required. Murphy's Law has a way of sticking its head out in unexpected times. Now let's consider the where, when, and why of a data center. The where is very important to consider. You probably do not want your production and DR site in the same city to avoid the regional risk. However, if you move your sites too far apart, there might be latency issues. You may also enjoy cost savings by leaving the GTA and get to avoid the 401 and DVP. So, when would you implement your data center move? Well, you'd need to consider other factors like freeze periods in your organization, vendor and other team members' availability. As well, you'll need to consider lead times for any custom hardware that you may be ordering, including cabling. So it seems to do a data center move is a lot of trouble. Why would you even want to embark on such an adventure? Well, there's a whole array of why an organization may want to move to a new data center. One of the key ones would be that their volumes have increased so much over the years that they need to re-platform and experience better performance for their customers. In this case, you may want to take a baseline of before and after of the performance increase. Finally, let's talk about the how. Obviously, you'd need a really good, solid plan with the whole team on board and signed off on it. One of the key drivers of the plan would be security considerations. And in that aspect, you may have to transfer your security key from your old site to your new site. And how would you do that? If that gets compromised, it could be, again, lights out for the organization. One strategy might be to have multiple Brink trucks escorted by OPP. You'll also need to consider how anyone will enter the data center. After all, you can't just knock on the door and be expected to be let in. Once your new data center is up and running, it's still not game over. You still need to consider how you're going to get rid of your old hardware. You'll need to degauss the data and decommission anything else that you do not need anymore. But overall, it should be well worth it if done right. Thanks for watching. If you do have any feedback, or perhaps you want to share some of your own best practices, please feel free to comment or send me an email over here. Thank you.